Hey everybody, it's Gomedex and welcome back to some more Magic Arena. Today we have another premiere draft of Kaladesh Remastered, and our opening pack here is quite nice. We've got Bristling Hydra in the rare slot, one of the best rares, I would say. 4 mana for a 4/3 Hydra, and it comes with 3 energy. You can pay that 3 energy at any time to put a +1/+1 counter on it and give it hexproof until end of turn. So it's very hard to kill. It can just shrug off one targeted removal spell, as well as if you are in a heavy energy deck and you've got any extra energy, it can protect itself from even more than that. So pretty good rare there. We've got Fairgrounds Warden, which is a great uncommon. It's a 3 mana 1/3 creature that also exiles a creature when it comes into play. We've got Whirler Virtuoso. This is a pretty great uncommon as well, but it is multicolored, so it's a little bold to take it immediately, but it is pretty powerful. And then in our common slots, we just got like a decent removal spell and like a Druid of the Cowl. I think I'm just going to take the rare here. I like Bristling Hydra a lot, and the energy decks can be quite powerful in this format. So we'll see if we can get that kind of theming going. That being said, I don't see like a single card in here that's really good in any kind of energy deck. There is one card that makes energy, and it is not great. So probably not going to be scooping up an energy card here. We have Weaponcraft Enthusiast. This can be pretty nice. 3 mana for a 0/1 with Fabricate 2. So it's a 3 mana 2/3 or 3 mana for a 0/1 and 2 1/1s. Pretty nice stats for the mana cost. There's also Daring Demolition for just some removal there. So decent black cards. Looking at the other colors, it doesn't look like there's anything too great. A bunch of mediocre pickups for kind of the middle of the pack. Like Aether Trade Winds can be okay because there's lots of good enter the battlefield effects in a blue. Pillar Bug's like okay. Artisan's okay. Bunch of pretty mediocre stuff. So I think it's just one of the 2 black cards here. And I'm actually going to start off with the Weaponcraft Enthusiast over the removal spell here. Now we have some white cards, and one of them works in a very similar facet as the Weaponcraft Enthusiast does, and that is Visionary Augmenter, 4 mana for a 2/1 with Fabricate 2. So we could take that and try to do some kind of black-white going wide deck. White does have a lot of cards that are really good if you're getting a bunch of servo tokens out, like the Dawn Feather Eagle at common. That's a 5 mana 3/3 flyer that pumps your whole field when it comes into play, and gives them Vigilance till end of turn. So White definitely has a lot of powerful ways to utilize a bunch of little creature tokens, so I think Visionary Augmenter is a fine pick here. Hoping to, if we do end up in white, wheel probably the Impeccable Timing. I doubt Skywheeler Shot will wheel, because it is just a decent bit better. So we'll take Visionary Augmenter there. Ooh, Essence Extraction is pretty fine. Black removal there to go with our Weaponcraft Enthusiast. There's also decent red removal, the Furious Reprisal. At 4 mana, doing 2 damage is not a lot, but you get to do 2 damage to 2 different things, so you're like chipping away at 2 smaller things, or you can stack this on top of additional damage that you dealt with one of your creatures during combat or something to take out a bigger creature. So this card's definitely fine. I do like Essence Extraction a little bit better though at instant speed with some life gain attached, and 1 more damage. So yeah, just double checking all of the commons and uncommons, making sure we're not really missing anything here. And we're not missing anything great. So we'll take Essence Extraction. And now we can take another Weaponcraft Enthusiast. Just stay pretty stuck onto that Fabricate theme that we're starting to pick up here. Nothing super exciting we're missing. I feel like there are quite a few pretty good removal spells in black and white in this format. Like Essence Extraction is just way better than Impeccable Timing because you can do that 3 damage at any time rather than just to an attacking or blocking creature. And white has a bunch of unconditional removal as well, stuff that'll just like Revoke Privileges will just shut off any creature, period. So Impeccable Timing definitely feels like a pretty late pick. I should probably not sideboard the Bristling Hydra just yet, because we do only have the 1 white card. We're just as likely to end up in green-black based on what we open in the second pack as we are to end up white-black. So here I think I'm going to take Skyskiff. Skyskiff is a pretty good vehicle. It works really well with servo tokens, and right now we have 3 cards that have Fabricate 2, so we're likely to have plenty of those. It just helps you get through those board stalls where both you and your opponent have fabricated a bunch of little tokens out. So Skyskiff, pretty great card. And we can play it in whatever colors we end up in, so happy to see that there. And we do have a Countless Gears Renegade in white, but we've also got some good black cards. I think all three of these are definitely pretty decent picks. They're very playable. Subtle Strike is pretty massive combat trick. It's a combat trick that gives you a permanent buff, which is nice. Live Fast is just good value. You're drawing cards, getting energy. Losing life is not great value, but the other parts. And then Die Young is a decent removal spell with nice energy synergies, and it's going to default to the one that I want the least out of those. I think I'm going to take Die Young there out of all of that, because if we do end up in black-green, it'll be nice to have kind of the energy-adjacent removal spell. So I think for me it was between Die Young and Live Fast there. The draw 2 and gain 2 energy card. And the only reason I took Die Young over Live Fast is because I was pretty 50-50 on him. As you can see, I tried to click Live Fast at the literal last millisecond, so I think the choice was very, very close there. Here, I think I'll just take a Pillar Bug. I'm not a huge fan of the Foundry Screecher. It's a 3 mana for a 2/1 flyer. 1 toughness is just very low. There's cards like Chandra's Pyrohelix that deal 2 damage divided as you want. For only 2 mana at instant speed, and that card is a very high pick in red, so I feel like there's also like Subtle Strike in black that gives a creature -1/-1 till end of turn. There just seems like a lot of really easy ways to kill 1 toughness creatures in this format, so I do not like 1 toughness creatures unless there's like a pretty big upside to them. And I feel like Foundry Screecher is just not there. Now we're just going to take a bunch of mediocre filler cards, as you do. I'm actually going to look at my collection at this point because I don't think I'm going to play any of these. So I'm just going to take the ones that fill out my collection. Alright. And if you ever want to look at your collection numbers during the draft, just hold down the Alt key there. So this pack, I may be moving into white-black here because I think Aerial Responder is definitely the best card in this pack. 3 mana for a 2/3 flying, vigilance, and lifelink is just very, very impressive stats for the mana cost. This can really race your opponent. It's hard to block, it's vigilant, so it gets to block, and it lifelinks, so very, very big life swing every time this hits your opponent. And it's very hard to stop it. So I think I'm going to take that for sure. We're probably going to end up cutting the Bristling Hydra, unfortunately. Alright. I staved off the coughs. Ooh, Thriving Rhino, probably the best green common in this pack that also has an energy theme to go with the Bristling Hydra. That may be the pick here. I think the white card's not very good. Aether Inspector. I'm not a huge fan of it. It just seems a little bit expensive for the power and toughness, even if it does kind of come with a 1/1 servo. I guess Puzzle Knot's like, it's okay if you've got a use for servos. Salvager seems fine. I don't even know what this does. Maybe Underhanded Designs is actually the pick. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you can pay 1 to have each opponent lose life and you gain life. And for 2 mana, you can sacrifice it and destroy a creature. Activate it only if you control 2 or more artifacts. So if you fabricate, you can do that? I guess I'll go with Underhanded Designs, simply because I don't think I've ever played that before, and I do have some Fabricate. This seems like it'll work pretty good with servo tokens. Obviously, with anything with Fabricate 2, the second that you fabricate both those servo tokens into play, you have enough artifacts to use the sacrifice ability. So that's not too hard to trigger in our deck. If we end up black-white, we've got 3 Fabricate 2 cards. And yeah, so there's another Thriving Rhino here, so I'm actually... Like, Thopter Arrest is great, but I'm not at the point where I'm going to say that I'm happy that I've moved into white here, but I'm not, like, unhappy. But yeah, seeing 2 Thriving Rhinos, we could have just as easily been green-black at this point if I took that first Thriving Rhino. Then we just get 2 Thriving Rhinos in a row. Why not? And then we get a green-black duel, or the Hazardous Conditions, or an Armorcraft Judge. Like, there's fine green stuff showing up. Luckily, there's good white stuff as well, so honestly, I don't know. I don't know which is more open. Probably green a little bit here, because there's, like, multiple good green options, but at this point, I think we're pretty committed into moving into white. Okay, good. The green dried up, so I don't have to feel so bad about that. There's nothing I really want to play in this pack, so I'm going to start looking at my curve. And it looks like I have no 2-mana creatures, except for Skyskiff, which obviously it's a vehicle. I need another creature on the board to use it, so I think I'm going to take Eager Construct here. I'm taking Eager Construct over the Audacious Infiltrator because, as I said before, I don't really like 1 toughness creatures. Now, the Infiltrator, sometimes I will definitely play it, but the times that I'll play it is when I have vehicles with high crew costs. There are lots of vehicles in the set that are pretty decent, like Bomat Bazaar Barge, that have a crew cost of 3. When I have vehicles that require 3 power to crew, that's when I really like the Audacious Infiltrator, because it comes in with that 3 power for only 2 mana. But obviously in this situation I have 1 vehicle and it's very easy to crew. It's a crew cost of only 1. So in this pack I could take another Skyskiff, or I could take a Live Fast. I do have a lot at 3 mana, but a lot of these 3 mana cards are mediocre stuff that I kind of want to cut, like Alley Strangler and Fortuitous Find. So yeah, Live Fast or Skyskiff. I think I'm going to take the Live Fast here. There's definitely an argument for Skyskiff, though. I think the card is definitely pretty good. And this pack is not that difficult of a choice. It's like Rush of Vitality or Propeller Pioneer. I'll just take the Propeller Pioneer. Servant of the Conduit. Definitely a fine energy card if we were in green-black here. Not a huge fan of the Oval Chase Dragster. I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but it's got that 1 toughness. This one does have Trample and Haste, so it can just come out of nowhere and just really bash your opponent. You know what? I will take the Servant, actually. Maybe I can end up in green, black, white. That seems really unlikely, but I'm pretty sure I just don't want to play the Oval Chase Dragster, so I may as well take something that there's a very marginal chance that I play. So I do like Aether Poisoner quite a bit. With that Death Touch, it can block any creature, no matter how big it is, and kill it. And it can spit out a nice little servo token if you play it in the early game, to where you can attack with it, and they don't want to trade. So, fine card there. We'll take a Cogworker's Puzzle Knot here as well, just because we're looking for more 2-mana ways to get some creatures out. We just have Eager Construct and Aether Poisoner right now. Cogworker's Puzzle Knot comes with a servo when you play it, and then you get another servo when you pay 2 mana to sacrifice it. So, it's also a way to get a lot of artifacts on the field for our underhanded designs and stuff like that. I do think Malfunction was the best card in that pack, but we are 100% not going to be playing blue. We have like I don't know, maybe a 2% chance of playing green, and a 0% chance of like blue and red and all that. So, just not taking the blue card there. So, final pack. Not a bomb rare in our color, but pretty good uncommon in our color. 4 mana for a 3/3 when it comes into play. Return an artifact or creature from your graveyard to your hand. Nice little Gravedigger effect that can also get back, I don't know, like a Puzzle Knot if we haven't lost a creature by then, but most likely we'll have lost a creature and we'll be very happy to have a 3/3 Gravedigger. Very nice card. Oh no, a very sick red rare in this pack, the Skyship Stalker. This card is brutal. 4 mana for a 3/3 flyer. For a single red mana, it can gain haste till end of turn, so for 5 mana you're smacking the turn you play it. It can also get +1/+0. It's got fire breathing, so you can do that as many times as you want for a red mana, and it can get first strike till end of turn. This card's super hard to deal with. You have to just use your removal spell on it, or else it's impossible to block with that super high potential power and first strike and flying. Really powerful card. However, I'm going to take the Dawnfeather Eagle. This is just a premier common in white. It's a really good thing to put at the top end of your decks when you've got a lot of Fabricate and servo tokens and stuff, and that is the kind of deck that we're building here, so we definitely want some Dawnfeather Eagles at the top end. Since we don't have any yet, we really need to scoop that one up there. Glint Sleeve Artisan seems like a not super hard choice here. I guess there is Marionette Master, and we do have quite a few artifacts, so we could kind of try this out as a top end option. This is a rare, so it's not a card you see quite as often. I've never played this in Limited before, but it can certainly do some funny things in Brawl and Commander. Whenever an artifact's put into the graveyard from the battlefield, target opponent loses life equal to its power. So if I have a bunch of servo tokens when I play this, and I just make this a 4-power creature, all of a sudden those servos just like can't be blocked or my opponent like dies? It seems like it might actually be a decent top end in this deck. We do have a lot of little baby servos, as I said before. What do we have here? Nothing exciting. We have Aviary Mechanic, or we have Fretwork Colony. I have tried Fretwork Colony a couple of times, and I feel like I've just always drawn this at a cruddy time. This is a terrible top deck in the late game. Basically, the only time this card is great is if you just drop it on turn 2, and then your opponent isn't in a great position immediately. I don't know, I just haven't liked the Fretwork Colony. Like, it looks like it could be potentially really good, because it can get really big really fast, but it's just never worked out that way for me, personally. Now we have another Glint Sleeve Artisan. Kind of a difficult pick here, actually, because there's some good stuff. Like, I do like Aether Poisoner. I feel like it's probably not that, and Gear Shift Ace is nice, 2-mana, 2/1 First Striker, but I just want some more Fabricate. I'm all about that life. And it looks like a bunch of Hoopla. I guess there's a Barricade Breaker if we're looking for another big old top-end thing, or we could just take a Propeller Pioneer for another Fabricate card to work with Dawnfeather Eagle, and to an extent Marionette Master. I think I'll just take the Pioneer. Inspired Charge would probably be fine in this deck. We are going pretty wide, or at least trying to. Throw that in there. For now, might cut it. I am super fine with another Sky Skiff. I did pass up on one of those earlier, felt a little sad about it, but picking up another now feels pretty good. So I'm going to take Conviction out. I don't have any Revolt that I really care about. I'm just going to start cutting cards as I'm drafting here, because we're getting to that point. Probably take an Alley Strangler out, not a huge fan. Fortuitous Find as well. Maybe a Night Market Aeronaut. I don't think I'm going to play the Aether Inspector. Alright, Sly Requisitioner. This card always looks weird to me. Getting a 1/1 whenever one of your artifacts dies is not like huge value, but it does add up. I guess the other thing is this just costs so much without improvising it out by tapping your artifacts. It's a weird looking card to me, but I think, I don't know, sometimes it's okay. Do I need an Impeccable Timing in this deck? I don't know, but I'm not playing anything else here, so I'll throw that in the sideboard for now. Think about it later. Ooh, I've got exactly 3 of all of these. And let's just fill out the collection as you do. And we need to cut some more cards at the end here with these lovely Bob Ross lands. There are codes to get those free from the store until like December 12th or something, I think. Somewhere around there. So make sure to do that if you're watching this video before that time and you haven't gotten your Bob Ross lands. They are free. Just Google Magic Arena Bob Ross land codes. Alright, I need to cut 3 cards from this deck, and I'm not 100% sure what to cut. I could probably cut a land, actually, with this curve. I could go like Night Market Aeronaut, land, and then cut 1 more card. Let's expand the deck. Sort by creatures. Cogworker's Puzzle Knot's basically a creature. Huh. Gotta cut 1 thing, and I, as always, am just never sure when I get to cutting. This is the hardest part of deck building. It's choosing which one of your children is not as cool as the rest. Maybe I'm actually just cutting an Inspired Charge here. I'm gonna do that. I don't know if it's right. But I just don't tend to run that kind of card a lot. This would be the deck for it, though. We've got a lot of Fabricate. I don't know. We're going to cut that, get into the games, see how well this works out. As always, if things go really poorly, you can always edit your deck in the middle of the draft. Not in the middle of the game, but before you head into the next round. So that is an option available to me, but it's an option that I always forget to do. And not a great start here. I think we'll have to mulligan this. I mean, we do have the ability to play Revoke Privileges, but that's it. Feels bad. Not a great way to start off, but we do have Eager Construct and Die Young this time, so we have two things we can play. I can get rid of one of these white cards, and then if I draw any land, I'm available to play Weaponcraft Enthusiast. Obviously, if I draw Plains, I'll also have a backup removal spell with a Thopter Arrest. We did draw another land, so we can play Weaponcraft Enthusiast at least. Another land. Definitely counting on the Eager Construct to get us where we want to be. Oh my god. That is 5 swamps just immediately. That's insane. We have exactly 8 plains and 8 swamps, so it's really weird to see 5 of one of them before we see a single of our other color. So I could drop Sky Skiff or Weaponcraft Enthusiast. I think I'm just dropping Enthusiast just to make the most of my mana, but I don't know if I want to spread them out into little 1/1s. Spreading out into 1/1s would be the most potential damage here, but I just don't know what my opponent's going to have here. I'm going to spread them out. Hopefully it doesn't blow up in my face. So yeah, if I spread them into 1/1s, then if I get a Dawn Feather Eagle or Marionette Master later, I'm doing a lot more damage. And in the meantime, if my opponent doesn't play any creatures, being able to crew Sky Skiff by tapping only one of them will make me do 3 damage a turn with them instead of just the 2 from the Enthusiast. So not liking the draws still. Unfortunately, Die Young is a sorcery speed card, so if they have some weird kind of flash shenanigans, they're going to get me here. Okay, it's an Essence Extraction. I was going to say, I don't know what kind of flash creature they could have in Jund. Looks like none so far. We have 5 mana now. There's a Sky Skiff with nothing to crew it. Oh, and there's a Weldfast Engineer to do so. We have 2 different ways to deal with that if we draw a single Plains instead of the 5 swamps that we've seen. So hopefully we get there. Die Young sadly cannot deal with it. Oh, they can just crew their own thing, and then we just tap each other. I could just pretend that I don't know that. And maybe they block and I just Die Young here. Nice. I guess that wouldn't have been so bad for me, even if they saw through it and didn't block. Because sure, I could potentially take 4 in the air, but then all my other creatures can get through if they don't play another creature. I feel like they will at this point, though. I mean, they've got so much. Demon of Dark Schemes. Well, that's a loss right here. Demon of Dark Schemes, of course, comes into play. -2/-2 to all creatures. They get an energy whenever a creature dies, so now they've got 6 energy total. They can spend 4 energy and 3 mana to bring back any creature from a grave. Luckily, I do have a way to kill that. So we're going to use Thopter Arrest. If I use Revoke Privileges, they can still use the ability and just keep bringing creatures back from graveyards, which is really bad for me. So the Plains was late, but it arrived. I mean, potentially you could say it arrived right on time, because if it didn't arrive literally that turn, I think I was just super dead. Not dead on board quite. I would have taken 9 damage that turn instead, but they also would have gotten 2 creatures back from graveyards because they'd have 6 mana untapped. So yeah, I would have been incredibly dead. Alright, well, we will crew the Sky Skiff because this is about to die. So we can at least block one thing this turn. It's not going to be a great block because the Weldfast Engineer can give the servo +2/+0, which means all 3 of these will be attacking with 3 power. So the only thing I could trade with would be the servo. Oh, if they straight up just unlicensed Disintegration it, there's no way out of this one. That'll do it. Not a great start, but, well, I don't know what I was going to say. I don't know what the bright side of the picture was there. But we've got at least 2 more games with this deck. Even if I lose the next 2, that's still 3 games we got to play around. I don't have a lot to say about that last game, I think. I mean, that game was almost entirely just pretty rough mana issues. I feel like it was correct to hold on that 6-card hand there. It just did not play out well at all. Now we have a keepable hand right off the bat, so I'm super happy about that. We've got Underhanded Designs into... I guess I could play Skyskiff and pay the 1 if I really want to get the life gain value out of it, but I'm probably just going to drop Pillar Bug right after that. I've got Live Fast later on when I start running out of cards. That'll fuel me back up. Liking it. Opponent starts with a Wood Weaver's Puzzle Knot, so they're definitely on that green-blue energy plan. I could actually just Skyskiff first here if I'm just not going to have the extra mana soon. I don't know. I still want Underhanded Designs. Because Underhanded Designs into Pillar Bug, and then turn 4 I could Skyskiff and pay the extra, I guess. There's a Thopter Arrest, not a bad draw at all. They've only got a 1/1 that'll be attacking me here, so I might even just Live Fast and just always have enough mana to drain some life out of them. That could be nice. We've got a Glint Sleeve Artisan to Fabricate out. We could get a lot of creatures out before I drop this Dawnfeather Eagle. That'll be nice. Another Pillar Bug, too. Alright, so let's spread out the Artisan, I think. Of course, with a Wood Weaver's Puzzle Knot, our opponent is going to be at a lot of life. That gains them 6 life by itself. So they're at 22 right now. They'll go up to 25 by the time they're done with that. Don't think I'm going to drop the Dawnfeather Eagle quite yet. I don't want to kill anything, so I don't really want to cast Young or Thopter Arrest anytime soon, so we'll scooch those over. Got 2 Pillar Bugs, a Skyskiff, and a Dawnfeather Eagle. I could drop a Pillar Bug and a Skyskiff if I just don't drain the life. I don't feel like I'm under any immense pressure to do that, though, so I could just play a Pillar Bug. Skyskiff doesn't even do anything. They have 2 3 toughness reach creatures, so I'm just going to pay a Pillar Bug, save up the lifelink on it, and we're kind of at a stalemate here. They know the second they play any good creature, I can just sacrifice Underhanded Designs to kill it. So I feel like we're going to be playing a long game here. Even if they have a powerful creature in their hand, I think they're going to hold it for a bit here. Alright, so we're going to do Pillar Bug. Drain the life again. And they only have 2 power worth of servos out, so I can start heading in with my 3 toughness lifelinker. Just really fortify my life total here. I do have 2 energy from that Live Fast, so Young can do -4/-4 on anything they play in the future. Whir of Invention! Instant speed, grabbing an artifact from their deck. If it's a good creature, it's just going to die immediately, though. Which is kind of sad. I don't want to have to crack the Underhanded Designs so soon, because I'd like to drain life on everything I play, but at the same time, if it's going to shut off this nonsense and save my Pillar Bug, I might as well. I might as well wait till the block here, so I can present Subtle Strike, so maybe they don't want to block. They do the block, so I will destroy it. Yeah, I feel like if they chose to just block with a 0-3 there, I'd just, you know, give lifelink, let it go through. But unfortunately, that is not the choice they made. Alright, so I've got Eagle mana if I want to do that, but I've also got Aerial Responder, and I don't have to do that yet. I can just send in with the Pillar Bugs first. They only have 2 power. Let's send them in. Of course, I don't have any instant speed backups this time, but looks like my opponent might be getting flooded a little bit, so that could work to our advantage. Alright, just gain the life. Get a nice juicy life total here. Once we have an Aerial Responder out, we'll actually be able to get in for 2 damage a turn, instead of just pinging off each other forever. Our opponent is definitely flooding out a little bit. Alright, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. We can play the Eagle here. And I think that's the play. Just get in here. I don't know why it kept up a white. I shouldn't have let Auto Tapper do its thing, because I could have double lifelinked here. But I'm probably just going to play a Sky Skiff main phase 2 anyway. Is this just no blocks? It is no blocks. Don't want to lose any of those little trumpers. Here is a Sky Skiff. And they scoop them up. That will be game 2. So we gotta win in there. We gotta win in with the deck at least. That game definitely makes me feel a little more confident in our deck. However, our opponent got pretty mana flooded. But we got to do more things. And I feel like I even just had backup defenses. I had 2 removal spells in hand just in case. That game certainly felt better. This hand does not. I'm trying to think if any of this is because I'm running 16 lands instead of 17, but the thing is here, if I had another plains in this hand, it's still bad. It's still, I think, a mulligan. I don't know. I guess all I need is a swamp, but I do have Puzzle Knot for a while. This feels bad. I'm going for it. What are these sleeves? Oh my god. Look at this. What are these? If anyone knows what those sleeves are, let me know. That is beautiful. That is really cool. Are those the like metal secret lair drop or something? No clue whatsoever. But those are some cool sleeves. Alright, so we got our Puzzle Knot out. Unfortunately, have not drawn a land in the next 2 cards that we drew. Never didn't have it. Disregard everything I said. We're doing fine. So all I need is a swamp now, and then I can cast literally everything in this hand. So that would be fantastic. And our opponent drops an Eager Construct. We really need that Scry. I will absolutely take it. Get out of here, Gearsmith. You are a pretty great card, but not when I don't have a swamp. Another Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot. Ooh, off of the Prophetic Prism for the green mana. So blue-red splash green, maybe? For that sack ability. And probably other stuff. Another removal spell. I mean, the draws aren't bad. They're just not swamps. So we're just going to be poking in with our Aerial Responder for the first few turns here, I'm guessing. Still nothing we want to kill. Another Workshop Assistance, so they've got the Infinite there. Those can block on the ground forever as long as they've got the 3 mana to keep recasting them, because one will die, the other one will die and return the other one, and so on. They'll just keep returning each other. I'll go ahead and sacrifice my Puzzle Knot now. While I've got that extra mana, Dawn Feather Eagle is a great card, but it's not what I want to see right now. However, I'm not really under any pressure. The creatures are 2/2s and 1/2s. They've only got 2 cards in hand as well. Confiscation Coup on the Aerial Responder. You hate to see it. I think I'm going to Thopter Rest that, because then if Thopter Rest ever dies somehow, it just comes to my field, right? Exile creature an opponent controls until it leaves the battlefield. I don't know. I don't actually know what the rules on that would be. I think I'm just going to take this. I don't know. It feels like the kind of thing where it would come back under my control, so I'm going to do that just in case. I probably should have sent in with the servos there. I already represented to them that I don't want to trade with their Eager Construct. So I feel like holding the servos back is not going to stop them from attacking here. So they're just going to get in another free damage here. Unless I take the trade now, in which case I just lost 2 extra life for like no reason. But I guess with an Aether Super on their field as well, I kind of am more prone to wanting to take that trade. But I'm still not going to do it. I got plenty of life. And I got a Dawn Feather Eagle coming up. That's going to make my servos incredible. And I'll trade my Visionary Augmenter into that Eager Construct. Could have revoked privileged the Aether Swooper, but I'm not worried about it. You get your 1/1 servo. I will revoke it next turn. I actually won't. I'll just play a Dawn Feather Eagle and hope that they don't have a way to sneak it through. If they don't have removal for Dawn Feather Eagle should just shut off the Swooper. Eager Construct is the draw, so I do have enough mana to play an Eager Construct and revoke privileges if I want to shut off Aether Swooper. Badly. I definitely don't want it to attack me anymore, but they're just going to top deck a card, so literally unless they immediately top deck removal, I think Dawn Feather Eagle's fine here. I'll lose 1 servo to get in with the rest. Because they crew Sky Skiff here, and then a 2/3 blocks one of my 2/2s. Alright. Suppose they could chump block with a Workshop Assistant, because they know that if the other assistant dies, they'll just get that one back. They're going to make that block. Kind of think I'd just rather kill the servo here. Because they can do that Workshop Assistant looping shenanigans. And they just drew a land. Ooh, and I drew a land. What now, big boy? Alright, Die Young on Aether Swooper? Maybe? Big boy does not know what to do. I have too many plays. I think I just Die Young on Aether Swooper, right? But I can wait to do that till post-combat. Maybe I can get the double block on the Dawn Feather Eagle here, and then just finish off whatever survives. Because like I have so many other things to play here that I think I don't need the Dawn Feather Eagle to win. So just slapping all their flyers should be great. Alright. Subtle Strike would be brutal here. Fortunately, none of that shenanigans. Yes, I have to do it like this. I gotta do 2 to Swooper, 1 to Sky Skiff, and then I use 2 energy with the Die Young. Pay 2. pay 0 on me. It'd be so bad. So Eager Construct's a little bit awkward here because it does allow us to both scry. Not a fan of that aspect, but... See, my opponent just scryed to the top, so it's almost like they didn't scry at all. And their top was already going to be something they wanted. Worked out overall. I mean, I also scryed to the top, so it's just a 2-mana 2/2, whatever. Maverick Thopterus. This card's so brutal. 5 mana for a 2/2 flyer that comes with 2 1/1 flyers. So good. Oh wait, no, it's not a flyer. Okay. It's just a 2/2, but it comes with 2 1/1s. Okay, not as good as I thought, but it's still pretty good. Those 2 1/1 flyers are a big deal. So I'm at 15. I don't have any more flying to block that stuff. I think I'm just trying to gain life off underhanded designs here. That seems like the plan. Drop in underhanded designs, and then Weaponcraft Enthusiast next turn, Fabricate 2. I have revoke privileges, but there's nothing to revoke, really. I could revoke the 2/2, just that I don't have to trade my 2/2 into that. Or anything. Yeah, trading my 2/2 into that does suck a little bit. Because then they can attack with the Workshop Assistants freely. I'll trade servos into that. I'm gonna get replacement servos, it's all good. And just a land from our opponent. Propeller Pioneer is not bad at all. I can play that as a 3/2 flyer. I think I'm gonna do that, try to shut off those attacks. Get your +1/+1 counter, and now I can drop Aether Poisoner. Get some energy, pass the turn. So I guess the Woodweaver's Puzzle Lot was just in there for the energy. So they might not be, might not actually be splashing green off the prism. All right, Weaponcraft Enthusiast. Let's drain some life. All right, so I do 3 to them a turn, they do 2 to me a turn. I'm actually safe to just start swinging with Propeller Pioneer. Alright, they do that. So we will pop the underhanded designs. Of course, that means we don't have it for any creatures later, but now they have no blockers in the sky. We're just getting there with Propeller Pioneer. Ooh, Era of Innovation with enough energy to immediately sacrifice that to draw 3 cards. Quite a top deck at this point in the game. Lots of value. Oh no, an Aether Torch Renegade as well. Revoke privileges does not shut off activated abilities. Oh, but Marionette Master is a fantastic draw. They have 5 energy, so they have enough energy to use the Pay 2 ability twice. So they can shoot 2 things for 1. Alright, we're just playing Marionette Master, and we are putting all of the counters onto it to try to drain the last few life out of our opponent. Every time they block one of these, they are going to take 4. That'd be 8 damage if they just let these die. What's in their grave? What artifacts could they bring back? They do have an Eager Construct and a Sky Skiff that they could bring back with a Workshop Assistance. I think I'm just setting in with everybody anyway. So I can get my Servo token with the Poisoner. If a Servo dies, I'm doing 4 to them. And Eager Construct. Eager Construct's the only one I'm a little iffy on, because it does let them get a thing back. If they double block it, though, I'm fine with it. Any blocks that involve one of my artifacts dying here, I am a huge fan of with Marionette Master. So they're down to 9. So yeah, the one thing I was iffy about that is that they could have just single blocked my Eager Construct with a single 1/2 and got back whatever artifact they wanted. Oh no. Oh no, that is a great draw as well. Quicksmith Rebel turns Prophetic Prism into an artifact that just taps to do 2 damage to any target over and over again. Hopefully, Marionette Master is just too much regardless, because that's 12 damage off these servos. I kind of want to save him to block a little bit. I mean, I'm at 15. Let's see, they can do 2 to me, I go to 13. They send in 2 flying, I go to 11. And they do another 2 to me, I go to 9. I feel like I don't need these to block. I've got a 4/6. They can only shoot 3 damage at a time. Yeah, I don't need these to block. We just send them in. They're dead in 3 swings of these if they don't block each time. I don't like revoking any of these. It just doesn't do a lot. The 3/2 is the biggest one. If I revoke the workshop assistance, they can't get the other one back when it dies. And they also can't use it to crew, so they just start having to use the 3/2 to crew things. It's probably okay. I'm just scared of like a Gear Seeker Serpent off the top to just be lethal. Yeah, I'm just gonna pass here. I don't know. I don't know about anything. We will certainly find out. So they send the Prism damage at my 1/1 and the Aether Torch Renegade damage at my 0/1. Skyship Plunderer. That is a better target for evoke privileges, certainly, because every time that hits me, they get another energy. And it's also hitting me for 2 a turn with flying. So I'm going to say no to Skyship Plunderer. And now I just attack with all the servos. If they don't draw a solution to Marionette Master, they die next turn. They could also try to do like an Alpha Strike for lethal. If they Alpha Strike for lethal, that would be their other solution. Just don't give me another turn. Alright. We'll see what they have here. They're gonna shoot my Propeller Pioneer, I guess. I think that can shoot my face, right? It can shoot my face, so I don't know why the Pioneer shooting. Maybe just to send a message. Okay, definitely to send a message if they're going to choose to shoot a servo here. And just end it that way. Yep, and then the Prism at the face. Alright. GG. That is 2 wins and 1 loss with the white-black Fabrication deck. Getting some random gold along the way. Head into our 4th round here, see if we can't get some good stuff going. I feel like Magic Online kind of spoiled me in the past. I feel like there's not enough variety in the Magic Arena draft formats, because, sorry, I'm just trying to think of things to talk about while the game is loading. Because I'm already so pumped and ready for Cal time, and I feel like Kaladesh has only been here for a couple weeks, you know? But like, I'm just ready for the next format. With Magic Online, because they have every Magic set ever, they can always do these flashback drafts to older formats. But with Magic Arena, the only formats on Magic Arena are the ones from the last couple years that obviously I drafted right when they came out. So I've drafted every draft format on Arena, like extensively. So if they like flashback draft to like Eldraine, I'm like, oh, it's more Eldraine, you know? I mean, I guess, you know, flashbacking to Ixalan was pretty hyped the last time they did that. I had fun with that. Maybe a flashback to Ravnica. Just the stuff that's out of the standard format, I feel like it's been long enough since those that would be a nice little change of pace. But I don't think they do flashbacks on Arena as often. So Long Tusk Cub is a problem. And they have the perfect mana. Oh my god. Botanical Sanctum and the Spirebluff Canal. Just perfect Teamer Energy mana. Is this standard? Back in 2018? Jesus. Yeah, that's terrifying. I might just revoke that. The reason I'm revoking that instead of just pillar bugging is if they play any thriving creature this turn, those will enter the battlefield with 2 energy, which means that Long Tusk Cub could just immediately be a 3/3 and I wouldn't be able to block it with a pillar bug. Unfortunately, it looks like they just don't play a creature at all there, so that is embarrassing. But I still like that play, because I feel like Long Tusk Cub into Thriving Rhino would be a very powerful start for my opponent, and also a very likely start. Just an Aether Meltdown on the Pillar Bug. Alright. Turn it into a 0/3 little blocker there. And yeah, since they had an Aether Meltdown, they also could have done that to get the extra energy to buff up the Long Tusk Cub to a 3/3 immediately. And while Outland Boar is scary, and it may feel like a mistake to not have the removal up for the Outland Boar, I still feel like Long Tusk Cub would be more dangerous, because you have to think about it this way. If they Aether Meltdown my creature when I block the Cub, Cub immediately spends that 2 energy, turns into a 3/3, kills it. Next time it hits me or I chump block, if it hits me, it's a 4/4. It's already as big as Outland Boar, just that fast. This card's insane. So I do think that the Cub was dangerous enough that I don't feel bad about them playing a slightly bigger creature this turn. However, I am certainly not going to have good blocks for the Outland Boar this turn. I'm not going to have anything that can block it because I need a 3-power creature or more. I guess I could play a Glint Sleeve Artisan and block, but that seems loose. I think I'm going to Fabricate the Artisan and just drain a life. We are not planning to block. The one thing that does suck with the Outland Boar's ability is I can't double block it with a 3/3 and a 2/2. Have to double block it with like 2 3/3s. Which is really going to leave me open to getting absolutely destroyed by a Welding Sparks for that instant speed 3 damage, just kill my dude. I think we're just trying to race against them though. We'll see what they have at instant speed here with 5 mana up. Aerial Responder will definitely help out in a racing situation, though. That'll be nice. Select for Inspection, just return it back to my hand. That is fine. They do get the Scry one off of that. That's actually probably the scariest part for me. It's just that they can set up future plays. But yeah, that's not bad at all. I can just replay that. I can get another servo out of it as well, which gives me another life to drain off of Underhanded Designs. And this whole time, I forgot the secondary part of Underhanded Designs. Whenever I need to kill that boar, I can just kill it with Underhanded Designs. I already have 2 artifacts on the board with my servo and my pillar bug, so I'm actually super safe. But I can also just hold it and be extra super special safe in case they play something even scarier. Because if they can't deal with Aerial Responder, I will definitely be gaining enough life to outrace the Outland Boar. Gaining 2 a turn off that, and gaining more from Underhanded Design. So Illusionist's Stratagem is not what I want to see. However, I do like that that's gone before I tried to Underhanded Designs. If I had tried to Underhanded Designs Outland Boar there, and then they just replayed them both, that would have been really bad. So I will let them kill my Pillar Bug here. It'll force them to spend that energy, and Pillar Bug's not doing a lot. It is making Underhanded Designs big enough to kill something, but I'm pretty likely to just play another Artisan here and drain another life before I want to crack it. Ooh, and they don't even want to spend the energy yet. You know, it's entirely possible that I end up just using Underhanded Designs to kill Long Tusk Cub again. I might decide yet again that Long Tusk Cub is scarier than Outland Boar. Ooh. Tezzeret's Ambition. Draw 3, discard 1. Probably discarding land. We will see. It is nice that they had to cast that when they don't have any artifacts out, so they don't get the full value. They do have to discard something.
What did they... Ooh, they discarded not a land. What is that? Consulate Turret. Alright, that's pretty whatever. I mean, it does get to give them an energy every single turn. That's probably the scariest part of it, is that it can just make Long Tusk Cub bigger over time. Okay, I can play one of my 3 mana cards and crack Underhanded Designs, or I can use Underhanded Designs to drain some life. I am at 13. I kind of think I don't want to drain this turn. I think I want to just save up the Underhanded Designs ability, because it's not even, it's not sorcery speed. I can do it instant speed. So yeah, do I just play... I think I just play an Artisan, just as a 3/3, because then it's also big enough to block the boar, so if I play a Gearsmith, next turn I also have a secondary out to the Outland Boar. No pun intended. Because I can double block that with 2 3/3s. Can't block it with anything smaller than that, though. So then maybe the play here is to Underhanded Designs the Long Tusk Cub, and set up for a double block on Outland Boar. If I do that, though, I definitely want to try to chump block with the Pillar Bug. Maybe get it killed to recast it with Restoration Gearsmith later, if I'm playing that as another 3/3 blocker for the Outland Boar. Really don't like this attack from the opponents. I feel like I'm just not blocking, but I'm also not trying to Underhanded Designs. I'm not at the highest life total ever, but I have Aerial Responder. So I can take a couple hits here to make sure I'm not getting like stratagemed or anything. This is weird. Yeah, I guess I'm not using designs yet then. More mana is what I want to see. Now I can Pillar Bug, pay a white when I play it, drain a life. I suppose my opponent is actually getting worried about having to block things now, which is fair. If I send in with Glint Sleeve Artisan, yeah, Artisan's not blocking. If they do anything that makes Cub bigger than a 3/3, I can Underhanded Designs, and if they want to take the trade here, I will just accept that. Oh. I don't like that. That's not cool. Alright, so my Aerial Responder's dead, and I take 2. That definitely puts me on an actual clock now, though. Because I am gaining life nowhere near as quickly. Especially if I have to crack the Underhanded Designs. Another land for our opponents. They do have an Implement of Examination out, though, so they can draw a couple cards off that for only 1 mana now. And that is the play. Opponent just has tons of cards. Just the Outland Boar again. I don't want to like just get got by some kind of crazy energy shenanigans, but I feel like I'm at the point now that I don't have a lifelinker anymore, that I just shoot that, because I also only have like 1 more card that's going to make artifacts gain life. I don't really want to go to 6 right now. If they have another illusionist stratagem, I think I just like lose on the spot. Okay, they do not. I mean, if they had another stratagem, it would still stop the damage, and then I'd have 2 3/3s out this turn. Oh, Lifecraft Cavalry. Seems good. So I can bring back my Aerial Responder with the Restoration Gearsmith, and I have 2 3/3s to double block the Cavalry. And I chump block Long Tusk Cub with my -2/3 Pillar Bug. I'm fine with the way that the auto tapper did that there, because giving lifelink to the -2/3 isn't going to do anything. Like, theoretically, auto tapper should have left up. Oh wait, what am I talking about? Oh no! This is a black card and I only have 2 swamps. You know, this is the problem with all of the conveniences of modern technology. It's so easy to forget the distribution of your lands when auto tapper is just doing everything for you. I just, like, assumed I have, like, as many swamps as plains, and plains is all I ever need. 3 swamps, 3 plains, it's all good. No, I only have 2 swamps. Auto tapper could not do any better than it did there. Alright. They have 5 energy now. Yeah, Pillar Bug, go die in a fire, I guess. I guess I could block with a servo instead. But a servo can trade with the Sage as well. I will have 6 mana next turn, so I'll have enough to play an Aerial Responder and an Enthusiast, just pooping out more servos. Yeah. I'll block with the servo then if I'm going to get more little chumpy tokens. No tricks, please. Questioning whether or not I should have put Pillar Bug on the 6/6 as well, but if I did that, if they had High Spire Infusion, that's +3/+3, then they would just kill all my creatures and survive still. So I would have just given them another creature to die, so it all depends. If it was Blossoming Defense, blocking with Pillar Bug as well would have worked. That is one of the things that I'm not the greatest at, is Magic the Gathering. No, is playing around like combat tricks and stuff. I usually just try to not bother. Just, if they have it, they have it. There's so many different things in so many different formats. Alright, so what's the plan here? I can block those 1/1 flyers now. The only thing I'm worried about is the Long Tusk Cub, so is the plan to just draw removal? That might be the plan. Yeah, I think everything else I am fine and dandy with. And I can start getting in with my Aerial Responder if they don't get any more flying. Enthusiast gives me some servos to sack. To chump the Cub with over time. So we'll poop that out and pass the turn. I've used a lot of removal already, right? I guess I've used 2. How much more do I have? Die Young would not do it. -2/-2 is not going to kill a Long Tusk Cub when they have 5 energy backup. I guess Thopter Arrest would do it. My 1/1 Death Toucher would do it. I've got some outs, some options I could definitely draw into. Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot. Oh boy, that's 6 more energy. That's 3 more +1/+1 counters on the Long Tusk Cub. So I've got 8 now, which means they can turn Cub into a 6/6. If they sacrifice the Puzzle Knot, they can turn it into a 7/7, which I cannot possibly block and survive. I have enough other blockers. No. I'm like mildly annoyed that they haven't even put like 1+1/+1 counter on the cub to be like, look, it's a 3/3. But I don't think it's worth sacrificing my 0/3 just to get them to put a single counter on. Oh no. Gearseeker Serpent is a huge problem. When I'm at 10 life, that is 2 swings from that and I will be dead. However, I do have lifelink. So it will take 3 swings. Haha, got him. So yeah, that can get unblockable for 6 mana, hitting me for 5 every time it does that. I'm going to play a Propeller Pioneer. And I don't think that I want to fabricate. Well, I don't think that I want to make the servo. That's what I mean. Because if they want to kill the Pioneer, they have to double block with both of their 1/1 flyers this way. We're just trying to crack back in the skies. That is our only out here, and it's not looking great with that Gearseeker Serpent coming in hot. That is a lot more card draw for our opponent. Implement of Examination, gonna draw 2. So now they have 3 cards in hand, they have a Puzzle Knot, they have 8 energy. Longtusk Cub still sitting at a potential 7/7. They did draw at least 1 land there though, so just 2 cards in hand now. Ooh, they don't have the mana to give Gearseeker Serpent unblockable this turn, which means this is like my last chance to try to kill it without a removal spell. So I might actually do that, just make a really big block here. I would lose a lot of creatures. It's 5 power, 6 toughness. So I guess I lose my Pillar Bug and my Pioneer here. Because they can do 5 damage, so they do 2 damage to the Pioneer, 3 damage to the Pillar Bug. And then I block Longtusk Cub with my 0/1. So I do that, throw lifelink on Pillar Bug. If they have a combat trick, I am in deep doo-doo. But I already was. Because if they have a combat trick here, they could also just like give the Serpent unblockable and pump it up, and then I'm dead in only 2 swings. Oh, they have a Leave in the Dust. Brutal. Pretty brutal. Yeah, I think I'm fine with my block there, because I didn't have a way to play around that effectively. Because throwing Aerial Responder in for the block there is just conceding the game, essentially. It's just like, yeah, well, I'm not going to win. Let's at least take out Gearseeker Serpent for sure. Aerial Responder is like our only out to victory. And yeah, now it's definitely not going to win. Oops. I didn't mean to do that, but the concession attack it is. No blocks. They're scared of the mind games. You know what the mind is? It's a plains. I'm gonna scoop them up. Two wins and 2 losses. Oh no, that was our game to get into platinum. That was the game to get out of gold. And we threw it in the trash? Sad. I wouldn't... Excuse me. Oh my god. I would not say that I threw it in the trash. I don't think that's, that I would have won any way that I played the cards that I drew there. I just did not draw enough removal for the scariness. on our opponent's field. The Gear Seeker Serpent was destruction. Alright. I'm gonna keep this. We've got both the colors. We've got Underhanded Designs, which has been putting in work today. And our opponent starts off with Aether Poisoner off of 2 swamps. I will start off with my Underhanded Designs. Come on, planes. Nope. So no aerial responder yet. Playing Aviary Mechanic, Skyskiff, or Weaponcraft Enthusiast. I'll just play the Enthusiast, get some blockers out on the ground. So all I gotta worry about is the Foundry Screecher in the sky. Sending in with everything. This is a really weird attack. This is most likely Subtle Strike. Subtle Strike's just going to be a really bad time for me no matter what I do. If I don't block... Here's the thing about Subtle Strike here, is if they have it, I'm screwed, period. Because they can just put a +1/+1 counter on Foundry Screecher and kill one of my servos, even if I don't block. So I feel like it's not really like running into the Subtle Strike, because if it's not Subtle Strike, then this is huge, and if it is Subtle Strike, I'm not losing any more than I would have lost anyway. I was already going to lose 1 out of both of my servos, and servos are like pretty small in general. Huh. It's just a revolt? Weird. That's so weird. What was that about? Now I'm really confused. I want to know what they had. I want to know what is in their hand. So Aviary Mechanic, I can return Weaponcraft Enthusiast and play it again, fabricate more in the future, which is really neat. Pretty nifty. I'll take it. And now I've got a Skyskiff to try to trade with the Foundry Screecher. I mean, if they had the Subtle Strike the whole time, they played it well. By just being like, oh, sorry, I got nothing, whatever. Eat my Death Toucher. Okay, no Subtle Strike still. See, that was a block where Subtle Strike would have actually just super hosed me more than it would have if I didn't block. And another Foundry Screecher is out. I can Weaponcraft Enthusiast, and I have the mana to gain life off of the next 2 servos, or I can just sacrifice the designs and kill the Screecher. I think I'd rather just gain the life. I don't really want to pop the Underhanded Designs quite yet. I have more fabrication to do. And if I keep draining life off the Underhanded Designs, I can counteract the life loss from the Foundry Screecher. What is this? What? I don't know. My opponent has got to have some kind of ulterior motives or like super plans that I just don't know about. They don't have double white, so this can't be... This can't be +2/+1 to all their creatures. Maybe it's an actual revolt trigger this time? I have no idea. This is just combat. This is just get in there. Jam them in. Slam them. It's a Fen Hauler. Alright, yeah, they're just being aggressive. I like it. I mean, they're diamonds, so they are definitely better than me. Aether Poisoner and Propeller Pioneer. Propeller Pioneer will trade for the Foundry Screecher. We know that they don't have any cards in hand, so I think I play this. Fabricate 1, drain a life. Chump block Fenholler with my 0/1, and then kill it next turn with my underhanded designs. Oh no! The top deck. It's pretty spooky. Pretty spooky all around. It's not the end of the world. I'm just losing an extra servo here. Alright. I guess I've got an Aether Poisoner to deal with Fenholler as well. So I will play that, especially because now I don't have enough artifacts to sacrifice the underhanded designs quite yet. Alright. Underhanded designs will now be attempting to shoot a Dawnfeather Eagle. Not yet, though. I don't have the mana yet. Alright, now I'll do it. Oh, I've got my own Dawnfeather Eagle. Maybe I just do that instead. Because then I can send in the Aether Poisoner. Yeah! Send in the Aether Poisoner and get my servo out of it. I'm not going to have another time to do that. Bam. Alright, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling okay. I think we're in a fine position. Maybe this whole time my opponent's just been conditioning me so that when they do draw their subtle strike, I'll never expect it. Because everything has just been very straightforward combat thus far. Ooh, if I play Pillar Bug, I won't have Designs mana. But that's okay, because I don't actually need to use it on Fenholler as long as I have Aether Poisoner. Alright, they're down to 13, and I'm just going to keep poking in with Skyskiff now. Feels good. Feels like a good position. Cogworker's Puzzle Knot, just a couple 1/1s, that's fine. Ooh, Die Young. Not going to do anything right now, but that is nice to have. I'm not looking to kill one of their 3 1/1s. So again, I'm not sending in with the Aether Poisoner because it's the only creature I have that can block Fenholler. And it obviously can block Fenholler and kill it. And I'm not sending in with the rest because they will just die to a Fenholler without killing it. So Skyskiff it is from now until the end of time, or, you know, until one of us draws removal. Mainly my opponent. My opponent draws removal for Skyskiff. Skyskiff will no longer be getting in. If I draw just a mountain of removal, I guess I'll kill all their creatures and attack with everybody, but that doesn't seem likely. I did draw my second planes, though. Visionary Augmenter, drain you for 2 life. Yeah, I feel like Aerial Responder is actually just a faster clock. We just do that. Save our underhanded designs to kill a flyer. We also have a Die Young to kill another flying blocker. They should be dead in 2 swings, I think. Because they go down to 7. Then they take 4, 5, 6. Okay, not quite. They'll survive with 1 life next turn. I was too excited. Okay, well now they will survive with a lot of life. but I can definitely kill the airdrop Aeronauts. I don't have enough mana to drain the life off Augmenter and still sacrifice Underhanded Design, so I'll just sacrifice it right now to have full mana next turn. Alright. Still not gonna die young anything. We're just sending it with the Flyers. I don't actually know if I want to spread out Augmenter or just play it as a 4-3 after this. Because the thing about spreading it out is that I'm very vulnerable to Make Obsolete, which just gives all my creatures -1/-1, something like that. But then I'm also more powerful to a Dawn Feather Eagle top deck or Marionette Master, stuff like that. It's just stronger. I suppose I don't even need to play it here, because I'm still just winning with the flying battle. Yeah, I might actually just hold it, just in case they do have a Wrath effect. They do exist. There's one at rare in this format, Fragmentize. No, that's the common that destroys something. I forget what the rare is called, but it's like a 5-mana Wrath effect, destroys all creatures and you gain life equal to the total number of creatures you killed this way. So since Visionary Augmenter doesn't really change anything, it's not going to help me attack anymore, it's not really going to block anything more than I'm already blocking, I might as well just hold it. Sending in with a Pillar Bug. They have no cards in hand, which means I'm just going to make this double block. Gain 4, and the Pillar Bug dies. And that is the shame concession. I've definitely made attacks exactly like that before. So, big feels for our opponents. I have done that before a lot. Where I'm like, well, I might as well send this in. All they got is 2 3s. Send this in, gain my 2 lifelink off of it. Pass the turn. And then I send it in and they block with 2 2/3s. And I'm like, wait. That's illegal. That's some genuine feels there. Alright, I'm gonna keep this. It's not great because I don't have the double white for Augmenter and I've only got these 2 cards that I can play so far, but we've seen how much worse it can get in our first couple rounds. Had some definitely awkward draws. And there was that one round where I started with just like 2 planes and then got there. That was a good round. At least I think I got there. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just going to kill that swooper before it swoops in with a bunch of servos and nonsense that I just don't want to deal with. Okay. Implement of Examination. Next turn they will be drawing 2 cards off of that. Aviary Mechanic for no value, let's go! I don't think it's worth playing the long game and just waiting for Augmenter and then replaying Augmenter. I don't think that's worth it. Let's put some pressure on because they're very likely to be popping that this turn. With a Consulate Skygate out. Why did I play a Swamp? With the Consulate Skygate out, my pressure is kind of just stopped here. I don't think it's worth Revoke Privileging, so I'm just going to play a Weaponcraft Enthusiast. Instead, Visionary Augmenter would have been a bit better, but it's not the end of the world that I derped out a Swamp. Because I don't have a turn 5 play, so turn 5 I'll just play Augmenter instead. Yeah, and now it looks like it just didn't matter at all because I wouldn't be attacking with the Augmenter here anyway. I'm going to spread them out so that Marionette Master is super threatening in the future. For now, though, I don't have attacks into this board. Our opponent is on white-blue, so they can be on that flicker deck that can flicker all of the Fabricate cards and get more 1/1s. Just all over the place. Millions of 1/1s. Ooh, Dawn Feather Eagle. Ooh. Ooh, I want a Marionette Master first, so that if they make any blocks that kill my stuff, I can still drain them life, but that is awesome. With Fabricate 3, like, now this is one of the few times I'm actually considering just making the servos with a Marionette Master, because they haven't used a removal spell yet either, so if I just chunk out a 4/6 Marionette Master, I think it just gets removed. But if I spread out the servos, even if they kill Marionette Master, I'm good. The problem is, like, Marionette Master is just so insanely good if they don't remove it and I put the counters on it that it's a really hard choice. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna put all the counters on the Marionette Master. And I'm actually gonna send in here so I get at least one swing worth of value out of the servos. I'll save one back for a block, but now if they block any of the servos, they're taking 4. And if they don't, then that's cool. I'll just sneak in a little bit of damage. And they do have the Thopter Arrest for the immediate removal, so that feels bad. Feels bad, but Dawn Feather Eagle is still going to be sweet. We've still got plays. We're going to lose the Visionary Augmenter in a trade with Dukara Peafowl. Lose, what, Weaponcraft Enthusiast to Artisan or something? I think either way, I'm just sending it with everybody. Get as much damage as they can in. Looks like it'll be 6 damage here, and we are killing the servo. Oh, and the Peafowl block is not a trade. That was a misspeak. Opponent is down to 12, but they have a lot more cards than me. Not a huge fan of that. In an Esper deck as well, they're very likely to be a value-based deck. I'm going to try to get rid of their... Oh my god, their Skygate has reach. But... not... Okay. Alright, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. Not the worst revoke privileges in the history of mankind or anything, but... it's not great. It's definitely not great. I do get to attack with these now, and they can only block 1 without losing a creature. So, I mean, that revoke still does keep me a little aggressive. Oh, not if they have impeccable timing. Dang. Yeah, the other thing about revoke privileges is... I guess, you know, we never know how many flicker kind of effects they are trying to run, but... if they have like 2 Illusionist Stratagem in their deck, it's going to be a bad time. Because they can just flicker away our removal. Like the teamer opponent did, the blue-red-green opponent did with their Long Tusk Cub. There's a Prophetic Prism, drawing a card off the Glint Nest Crane. I like this card a lot. I played this in a mono-blue artifacts control combo deck in Standard. Plains is not what I want right now. And I no longer have attacks, because that Crane's got a big booty. So they can block my 2/2 and my 2/3 without losing a creature. So I don't have any viable attacks, and here's a Gearseeker Serpent. This may be the end of this draft run. It probably is. My opponent has definitely played the long game here, played the value game. Live Fast could get us into this, depending on the 2 draws. Weaponcraft Enthusiast does not really do anything for me, but I'll send him out anyway. So, with hindsight being 20/20 and everything, I think I definitely should have spread out the Fabricate on the Marionette Master. I'm just thinking back on how good my position would be if I did that. I'm not sure if I would have won by now, but my opponent would definitely be at a lot lower life total. I think that would have been my one chance to win this game based on what I've drawn and what my opponent has drawn. Had I done that, I would be a lot closer to winning at the very least. So I risked it too hard. I went too all in. Let's see what our opponent is planning here. They've got a lot of stuff. There's a flicker effect. Wisp Weaver Angel, flicker the Dukar P-Foul, get that removal off of it, and now my opponent has all of the flyers and unblockable creatures in the world. Puzzle Knot is not great right now. Getting some more little servo babies on the ground. I can activate Skyskiff as a blocker for the Dukar P-Foul, but the Wisp Weaver Angel is too big. That'll definitely be doing 4 to me, and the Gear Seeker Serpent, they can just make it unblockable and deal 5 to me. Looks like they don't even want to do that. This is just really weird to me. You know, I'm so, like, guaranteed to lose at this point that I may as well play into whatever their weird plan is. Show me the tricks. There are no tricks. Okay. Well, I got to kill the Gear Seeker Serpent. That's actually pretty huge. Shipwreck Moray. Alright. That's fine. Get another servo off the Puzzle Knot. Probably should have done that before I blocked the Serpent, just in case. Just make the gigantic blocker stack you've always dreamed of. Alright, so I'm taking a lot. Alright, there goes a servo of mine, and they get to draw another card off their Prophetic Prism. Very nice. What have you got? Well, a large field of creatures. Very true. So, Shipwreck Moray can be a 0/5 or a 2/3 or a 4/1. It is whatever my opponent chooses it to be. So if I block... Oh, no, let's not double crew the Skyskiff. So if I block there, and then I block with 3 servos on Shipwreck Moray, that's the only way I can guaranteed kill the Moray if they kill my servos. If I don't block it, it's doing 4 damage to me. If I block it with less than 3, they can turn it into a 2/3 and just kill my servos and the Moray survives. The problem is if I block it with all 3, they can just leave it as a 0/5 and it's all fine and dandy. But I don't have any other blocks with these servos that are going to do anything here, really. So may as well do that and offer them the trade with the Moray. It looks like they don't take it. They're like, nah, I'm good. I'd like to keep my eel, thank you. And a Restoration Gearsmith to bring back the Glint Sleeve thing. Oh, actually, the Gear Seeker Serpent that I killed like a century ago. A century being like 2 turns ago. So, opponent is drowning in value. There's so much value there. Seems pretty nice. I do like our opponent's deck a lot. The Esper Flicker decks, mainly Azorius Flicker, but with the nice little Esper flash for the Restoration Gearsmith. Very spicy stuff. Lots of card advantage and value over the course of a long game with stuff like the Wisp Weaver Angel flickering draw spells and fabricate cards and Restoration Gearsmiths to bring things back from the grave. Very nice deck and very well played by our opponent. See, now they can turn into a 2-3 and just eat my servo. But if I didn't block there, they could turn it into a 4-1 and I just die, take lethal. So I think that's the best block I had. Kill the Gearsmith, survive, go to 3. Obviously, if they just attacked with everything there, I would have had to spread out my blocks and not kill a single creature. Opponent has a Planeswalker as well, Dovin Oh my god. Seems pretty sick. Pretty cool stuff. Unfortunately, I cannot crew my Sky Skiff with my face, but if I could, I would. Make a little chump block here, try my best to hold on for dear life, but it is not going to happen. That Esper Flicker deck going to destroy us, ending the run at I don't remember. I have the memory of a goldfish. The run is 3-3. The exact even run. The basic run. See what we got in our prize packs. Anything good? And then I actually want to check my record. I want to see if I did make it to platinum there, because I was not paying attention. I was just trying to win games of cardboard. Alright, Botanical Sanctum is good. The first pack was not great, but Botanical Sanctum to end it off is super fine. Let's check out the profile. We did make it to Platinum Tier 4, so we got something there, even if it's an average limited run, just a little 3-3. Not a bad way to end it, because we did get into Platinum at least. So, as always, I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. If you want to see more Magic Arena content, stick right where you are. There's going to be a little pop-up garbage on the screen you can click on. And, yeah, I'll see you again very soon for some more Magic Arena content. Most likely more drafts. I want Kaldheim.